Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Katie and today I'm going to be reviewing Night Film by Marisha Pessl. This is going to be a spoiler-free review. You guys don't have to worry about me spoiling anything. It's just going to be an in-depth review of my thoughts on this book. But first, I'm going to give you a little bit of a synopsis. This book is an adult fiction novel and it's a mystery/thriller. I absolutely loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was so freaking good. And it follows the mystery of Ashley Cordova's death. So Ashley Cordova apparently committed suicide, and her father is this famous horror director that ended up like going into hiding, almost like becoming a recluse at this big huge mansion, and no one's seen or heard from him for years, but he's like an occult film director. Like, people obsess over him. And the main character in this book, Scott McGrath, he starts investigating Cordova's daughter's death. It was such a roller coaster of up and downs and twists and turns, and I did not see really anything coming. There were a few little things that I guessed, but other than that, this whole mystery just was freaking phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. So the reason why Scott McGrath starts investigating Cordova's death is that years back in his journalism career, he wanted to do an interview with Cordova and investigate Cordova, and he ended up getting some misinformation, and his career just basically went down the toilet, because if you get found out as a journalist of misinformation, like, your whole career is questioned. So he's always had this sort of, not really beef, but thing with Cordova, because it was this career-ruining moment for him. There's a siren going by. Cordova is this really creepy film director, and not only is he like Hitchcock, he's compared to Hitchcock and Tarantino and all those other crazy good film directors, but apparently he had 5 films, horror films, that were released, and then a separate like 6 that were unreleased, and you have to go to like all these crazy underground viewings of it. But people are obsessed with him, like a cult obsessed with him, and that's kind of what intrigues Scott McGrath in the beginning, is how obsessed people are with his films. And because they're so gruesome and like hardcore horror, he thinks that maybe Ashley, which is Cordova's daughter, wasn't murdered. Now, this book is so good. I'm gonna say this 80 times during this review, but I would absolutely recommend it. It does get a little creepy at times. I really liked it. The only thing that I would have to complain about is that it was a little too long. There was like the last, not the last chunk, but the second to last chunk, like second to last like 75 pages, I thought kind of got a little muddly, but after that it just flew, and I flew through the first part. Now the awesome thing about this book too is that it's like multimedia. So it starts off with a prologue, but then we get this internet view of an article about Cordova's daughter found dead, talking about the basics of Cordova. And there's like emails and websites, and I don't want to spoil too much, but just stuff like this. It just made the book that much more amazing, in my opinion. I'd never really read a book with that much sort of media tied to it, and I thought it was a lot of fun. The main characters were really amazing, and they were going through real life situations as they were also investigating her death, and they're being taken to all these crazy places, and it's just been insane. I absolutely love this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was a complete head-spinning thriller. So cool, so refreshing. Nothing I've ever read before. And yes, that is it. I will see you guys soon with another video soon. Goodbye!